This is TechIn5. All the tech news you need to know about in 5 minutes or less. Guaranteed. Start the timer. Here's Mike and Adam.
Hello, it is the infamous 11th of September. I'm Michael Incavo, and here's what we've got on the show today. We've got the Regan Luxury Table Tidy review. We've also got a review on the Toshiba Cameleo S20. That's the camera. We've got talking about a little bit about Windows 8, learning to better manage its files, Sony TVs, issues with the HDMI ports, and some problems and experiences with OS X Lion from Jared Turner. That's all on the site this week. Check it out. Well, first up this week, we've got news from a Microsoft head in the Windows development community. That's Alex Simos. He's claiming that actions such as deleting, copying, pasting, cutting, they sometimes make a cluttered and confusing experience, and Windows 8 is going to let you to copy and all the other activities we mentioned above more than one item at a time, giving you a menu showing everything that's happening. And there's going to be a new feature that's going to allow you to show a more detailed description of the pictures you're trying to move, for example. And hopefully that'll make it into Windows 8, expected late next year. That's from Austin Davis, out of Los Angeles. Jared Turner has purchased a 2010 MacBook Pro, and it's interesting to see because he's had a decent experience with the Lion, except he had an issue with his battery overheating and a short battery life overall. Brought it into Apple, they said it was the software. He only used it for browsing the internet, but they thought the software might have been overclocking the processor. So they brought it to an Apple store and reinstalled Lion for free, replaced the battery. Cooler battery, longer battery life, no overclocking, no freezing, everything is better. That's a very positive testament to OS X Lion and the service provided by Apple for any issues going along with that. Out of Boston this week, Jason Miller is reporting some issues with his HDMI connections on his Sony television. Now, that's a new Sony Bravia. That's a nice 40-inch television. However, he's got only one of his 3 HDMI ports functional. Now, the only reason we're reporting on this is because he's talked to many other owners of the Sony Bravia series, and they've run into issues with this as well. So if you've had an issue with any HDMI ports or any functionality on your Sony Bravia, or any of the other HD TVs for that matter, please comment on that story on the site. That's called Do Sony TVs Have Faulty HDMI Ports? By Jason Miller out of Boston this week. Some news from Eric, that's the TechInform this week. He's got the Toshiba Cameleo S20, and he's had it for over a year now, and despite its great portability, it's apparently not so good. He says he's not impressed in the least. The microphone's kind of in a bad place. Some people end up covering it up, he says. In addition, he says the software is sluggish, and the HD video quality is pretty weak. It's got very grainy image and low lighting, and the video's out of focus a lot of the time, and he's not very happy with the audio quality either. So keep that in your sights if you're purchasing a new camera. Don't get the Toshiba Cameleo S20 according to the techie one, that's Eric. You can check his video out on the site. He's got a preview of the camera. He's got a sample of what it looks like, and what the footage looks like as well, so you can take a look on that story. That's the Toshiba Cameleo S20 review. News from overseas today. This is from Joe. He's reviewed for everybody the Regan Luxury Table Tidy review that's available from mobilefun.co.uk. And it's basically a brown leather table tidy and allows you to sort all your tech items into one small and manageable space. One of its big selling points is you've got 3 separate areas with areas to put your cord through, and you can basically just sync 3 different devices, at least charge them at the same time. You've got space in the front to put some other stuff, like an SD card holder is what he uses it for. It's also got a magnetic flap at the back of the table tidy, and it's great for keeping some larger accessories that you're not going to need to see all the time, like a backup external hard drive, he says, and some spare cables. He says he's very pleased overall, and he thinks it's very stylish, and it looks very luxury. So check out mobilefun.co.uk and check out our story on the site. That's Regan Luxury Table Tidy review from Joe. Vote in our New York opinion poll. That's, do you think we'll see the iPhone 5 in October? Yes or no? Check out what everyone else said there too. If you haven't done so, check out our live tab to see our live Ustream. And be sure to click our Follow Us tab to get in touch on Twitter and Facebook. If you haven't subscribed on iTunes yet, please do that. Please leave us a review. We love to get those from you. Please send me an email. That's mike@techinform.us. And please remember those who died 10 years ago on this fateful day. This podcast is brought to you today by Purporta Cases. Use code JOETECH at checkout to get a discount on all cases. Thanks for listening. Back next week with more tech info for you. TechIn5 is a production of the TechInform US Media Group, produced by Michael Incavo with video by Colton Frey. All rights reserved. Duplication rights available upon request.